So we got some New Orleans Saints news to discuss. Chris Olave is back in the news. Apparently, he is a full go for the Saints OTAs, and hopefully he won't suffer another concussion in this 2025 season. In his first 3 years in the NFL, it's reported that he has had at least 4 confirmed concussions in a 3-year span. So, yeah, I'd say that's a pretty serious kind of predicament that Chris Olave is in right now. I feel like if he continues to suffer concussions, he really has to reevaluate his health and his future in the NFL because I don't know, man. At what point does your brain just become like Campbell's soup? It's a pretty scary situation for sure. Him and Tua are definitely in the same spot in regards to their head issues. And honestly, when Olave is healthy, he is easily one of my favorite wide receivers to watch in the NFL the past 3 years. He is an electric playmaker. And in his first 2 seasons, he surpassed the 1,000 yard mark with Saints quarterback play that haven't been all the best. So pretty impressive stuff. And I'm hoping he could just continue playing in the NFL. And I'm really crossing my fingers that he puts on the Guardian cap. I know it's not, the coolest thing to do. And sure, it doesn't look all that great or whatever. But he has to protect himself. And I want him to be around in the NFL 5-6 years from now. I don't want this to be the beginning of the end. So I'm hoping he puts on the Guardian cap and really just protects himself and his health in general. But as far as his on the field play for the 2025 season, right now the Saints have Tyler Shuck slated to be the QB1 for the Saints for this upcoming year. First time head coach Kellen Moore. So yeah, they're projected to be definitely a bottom 5 team in the NFL. It's kind of expected, but you never know. Sometimes there are surprise teams every single year in this league. So it's possible. It's possible that they could maybe be a playoff bubble sort of team. You never know. Honestly, I don't really know much about Tyler Shuck. So I'm hoping he could not give Chris Olave suicide balls for the 2025 season like Derek Carr did in 2024. So if he could avoid giving him those sort of balls, I feel like that's at least a solid start. Is he a starting caliber NFL QB? We will find out momentarily. Spencer Rattler, in my opinion, has some flashes. I just don't think he's that week 1 to week 17 starter in the NFL. I think he's a solid backup. I feel like on the right team, with the right coaches, if your QB1 gets hurt for a few games and Spencer has to step up and play for 2 straight weeks, I feel like he could be pretty successful. Kind of like what Malik Willis did a year ago with the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love missed some time. Malik stepped up, got some dubs. I feel like Spencer Rattler is kind of like in that QB class. So Saints fans, talk to me. How do you feel about Chris Olave? Do you think he'll stay healthy for the entirety of the 2025 season? And what do you think about Tyler Shuck so far? I know we haven't seen a thing on him yet. I'm really curious to see what he's like in preseason action. But give me your thoughts right now, because I know the entire fan base definitely wasn't a fan of Derek Carr, which I completely understand. I'm not a Derek Carr fan myself. So how do you feel about Tyler Shuck in the middle of June? Let me know what you think. In this past offseason, there were some trade rumors regarding Chris Olave. Those rumors have died down, but hypothetically, if Chris is healthy and he puts on a show for the first half of the 2025 season, and the Saints are kind of a garbage team, I feel like he could definitely be a trade deadline target. And I feel like that's a pretty likely scenario that the Saints won't be that competitive and Chris Olave should be pretty good. So maybe keep an eye on that for the 2025 season. I feel like he would definitely generate a lot of trade interest. Like I mentioned, I feel like he's one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league. Like, just imagine if he went to Washington, or if he paired up with his old teammate Garrett Wilson. I just feel like that'd be a lot of fun, and If the Saints are truly uncompetitive for the majority of 2025, I really hope they give him an opportunity to succeed elsewhere, because I would just love to see that, to actually pair him with a competent quarterback. So we'll have to wait and see on how that plays out. Now, other Saints news, they recently signed Cam Akers after he had a tryout with the team. Just another RB to add to that running back room. Cam has definitely had an interesting career. He started off in LA. He looked like he was going to be the next big thing there in LA, but injuries, personality issues kind of poured that down the drain. Since then, he's bounced around, played for Houston for a bit, then went to Minnesota. Now he's kind of like a backup 2-3 RB in the league. So maybe the Saints will get some juice out of him. We'll have to find out. As of right now, the Saints RBs are Alvin Kamara, Cam Akers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Devin Neal, and Kendre Miller. Really curious to see what Clyde Edwards-Helaire also can do in New Orleans. Dude had a really rough stretch there in Kansas City. I can't remember the exact injury, but I'm pretty sure he suffered some serious gallbladder issues, so he had some pretty bad beats. His rookie year in the NFL, I thought he was pretty productive, but since his first year, he just couldn't recapture that same success. Yeah, he's definitely an undersized guy, but I feel like he could definitely pack a punch and break some tackles from time to time. So I feel like him maybe being a third down back for Alvin Kamara, or just being a solid RB2 there in New Orleans, I think he could be productive from time to time. I was definitely a fan of his game when he was out in LSU as well, so kind of a homecoming reunion for him to a certain extent. So I'd keep an eye on him for sure. In the 2024 season, the Saints got off to a crazy 3-0 start. A lot of talking heads thought they looked like the 2000 Rams. Definitely very premature comments. Even though they did look extremely good the first 3 weeks, they quickly fell off the rails in a hurry. So will the Saints have that early success in the 2025 season? You know, in the month of September, they played the Cardinals, Niners, Seahawks, and Bills. I don't really foresee that happening. That's a pretty tough schedule for the month of September for sure, especially for a rookie quarterback. So yeah, man. If you're a Saints fan, let me know how you feel about the state of this franchise. Are you optimistic? Are you done with it? Let me know in the comments below. And you know what, man? I will say this about where the Saints are going right now. Sure, we don't know a thing about Kellen Moore, but I do trust his offensive play calling to a certain extent. And even if they do have a piss-poor season, they should have a pretty high draft pick. You know, you definitely got to cross your fingers that they will. And if they do, they're going to have the pick of the litter for the 2026 draft. There are supposedly a lot of quarterbacks that are good that will declare for the 2026 draft. Maybe Arch Manning, definitely a connection there with the Saints franchise. Of course, his grandpa played for the Saints for many years. So even if this season is completely awful, there is some hope potentially for 2026 and beyond for this franchise. If you made it this far, please subscribe, like the vid. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
The Jets bring their offense onto the field, looking to capitalize on the momentum they had the last time they had it when they went the distance with a punishing rushing attack.
Oh, man, nothing a quarterback likes more than seeing his offense run the football so well. That means his offensive line is just dominating the defensive line. And you also know as a quarterback, when you throw it now, it's going to catch the defense by surprise. You get an easy completion, and usually for big yards.
Boy, that offensive line has been dominating so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, they are. They got that in them to be a dominating offensive line. I know the coach has got to be happy with what they saw in that last drive.
The Jets from the 32. It's caught by Devin Smith. And they advance the ball onto the other side of the field.
You got to be agile when you make these kind of catches, running these short drag routes across the field. That time we saw the agility of the receiver. Nice catch.
First down at the 49. Mason's brought down after picking up 6 on this play.
Always good to have these types of runs. Hey, it's not a first down, but it sends a message. It shows everybody that you can run it when you want to, and also it opens up so many other things for your offense. Mason's a very smart runner. He knows situations in the game. He saw the first down yard markers, and what does he do? He gets past them and picks up the first down.
Now first and 10. Gets the handle here. And Morris is tackled down at the 31. He's averaging about 4 yards a carry.